Well, at least you didn't watch something awful. That's all that matters.
Oh, my God.
At least you didn't watch a hunk of shit.
I was reading some of the tweets from Jimmy Norton, and it was hilarious because I felt like I was transported back in time to the days
of
yesteryear, another century, actually.
That fucking movie made me so angry. That fucking
Phantom Menace.
George Lucas.
Yes.
I'm sorry. He might be
eats balls. Say it.
You know, like a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
It's time to say he's overrated.
I saw the first two. I didn't watch the third one of the trilogy. The second one was extraordinarily dull, but there were some really cool parts of it.
Yeah.
But then I watched. Someone told me to go see that guy Red Edit or whatever. Who's the guy that does the fucking? It's the funniest thing I've seen on YouTube. Is the guy destroying the Phantom Menace?
Oh, really?
It's a fucking 1 hour review on video, and it is fucking hilarious. Somebody directed me to it.
Oh, where's the plug? Let's get other people to check it out.
It's 3 million people have watched this thing already.
I've never seen it.
He destroys Phantom Menace.
You didn't like Jar Jar Binks?
He didn't even go after Jar Jar that much. He just kept calling him a cartoon Robert. But the guy killed it on the story, the protagonist. Like, he really destroyed it.
Wow.
Is this it?
Now, what didn't you like?
Possibly fuck up the entire backstory to Star Wars. While my son eventually hanged himself in the bathroom of the gas station, the unfortunate reality of the Star Wars prequels is that they'll be around forever. They will never go away.
A word.
They could never be undone.
Is that his real voice?
No, I don't think
Someone
so.
who's under the age of like 20 says his least favorite film in the series is The Empire Strikes Back because it was the most boringest one. Then I suggest you shut this review off right now before I carefully explain how much of a fucking idiot you are. So where do I possibly
I love
start?
this guy's voice.
Nothing in The Phantom Menace makes any sense at all. It comes off like a script written by an 8-year-old. It's like George Lucas finished the script in one draft, like turned it in and they decided to go with it without anyone saying that it made no sense at all. It was a stupid, incoherent mess.
This guy's
I guess
crazy.
at this point, who's going to question George or tell him what to do?
I take it you say action after we roll camera?
I'll say action.
You don't.
Sometimes I forget.
People forget.
If I forget to say action or cut, just step in and say action or cut.
He controls every aspect of the movie. He probably got rid of those people that questioned him creatively a long time ago. I also think that everyone just assumed that a Star Wars prequel will be an instant hit, regardless of what the plot was. Really, how hard could it be to screw up? It's like screwing up mashed potato. You boil the water, you pour the packet. Number one. The biggest and most glaring problem with the Phantom Menace is the characters. This is like the most obvious part of movie making, but I guess I gotta explain it when talking about this turd. Let's start at movie making 101, shall we? See, in most movies, the audience needs a character to connect with. Typically, this character is something called a protagonist. When you're in a weird movie with like aliens and monsters and weirdos, the audience really needs someone who's like a normal person like them to guide them through the story.
He's showing Luke Skywalker.
Now, this, of course, doesn't apply to every movie, but it works best in the sci-fi, superhero, action, and fantasy genres. I picked a few examples to illustrate this point.
You pause this. You don't have to go through it. This is literally, it's an hour long.
You know, I know, but
he
it kept our
brilliantly
attention.
fucking dissects the entire, like, why the characters stink, what you don't know. Like, if I was Lucas and I saw this, I would blow my brains out.
I'm so watching that.
I like the voice.
That was a great trailer for this little series that he put up on the web, because I'm so watching that. It looks hilarious.
There was one thing in there that kind of, it looked like a spoiler for a later one. So I paused it when it was almost done. I laughed. I fucking howled alone watching this. And then I watched the second one, which was the Clones one.
Yeah, the Clone Wars.
And just, again, all I kept thinking of is how there's no fucking connectable character. Hayden Christensen stinks. stinks.
How awful.
He's terrible, dude.
Is Hayden Christensen.
And even Natalie Portman is not good in those, and she's great, but she stinks in those. You know who's good? The old guy that played Dooku? Lord Dooku?
Oh, yeah.
Who is that?
He's fucking famous
I know.
oldie actor who's been in a lot of movies. Christopher Lee.
Yeah, that was Christopher Lee.
Yeah.
I kept thinking it looks like Christopher Lee.
Christopher
I didn't know it was him.
Lee is good. Your comments, though, on fucking like Darth Maul. You didn't like Darth Maul?
No, and I hadn't watched this, by the way, I had not watched this review until after I was done Twittering. I didn't know that. Someone connected me to that.
When you said Darth Maul, it would have been better if they would have called him Scary. What?
Oh, be a mean man, scary
mean
face.
man, scary face.
He stunk. He fucking stunk.
You didn't like that lightsaber fight?
No, it was awful. I mean,
With
it was
him and
I didn't care about it. And again, the
old soy sauce head.
The guy explained it better than I. Like when I twittered was basically as deep as I went with it, and then I went and watched this review afterwards, and it's like you can't unsee the review. Like the lack of I didn't give a fuck about those characters at all, so I didn't care that they were fighting. And
I gotcha.
You know, I there's an old thing in acting, and believe me, as a moderate or awful actor, play the man, not the uniform. They say, like when you're playing a cop, you don't go, hey, pull over. I do because I'm awful. But a real actor, like look at Mark Hamill or something, or Harrison Ford. They were these interesting people, and this is what they did. Right. Hayden Christensen, Natalie Portman, they were playing the part, like they were trying to be princessy. Princess Leia didn't seem like a princess. No. She seemed like a chick who was a princess. That's why you liked her. And that's what this fucking. And I kept watching Hayden Christensen and going, he's playing the uniform.
Hayden Christensen
terrible,
could
dude.
not fucking play anything. He just stinks. I actually watched one other movie with him in it.
He's fucking horrible, dude.
And he's just a bad actor.
Well, he's kind of gone away.
Yeah.
Hollywood's pretty much done with him.
Yeah, he's done.
They're not done with Jack Black and Steve Martin, though.
Oh.
But they're done with Hayden.
That's not it's Jack Black and Steve Martin movie. You knew would stink, but that's not as offensive as this because George Lucas. The dialogue in this was fucking terrible.
Yeah, horrid.
And to put Jar Jar Binks and give him that much, I don't comprehend it.
Right.
I don't comprehend how a guy who's supposed to be smart gives that fucking uninteresting, unfunny, enraging character.
Changes the whole series.
It makes you hate it. Mm-hmm. And Liam Neeson was good, but
Liam was all right.
Why was he in it? He did nothing.
Right.
Gave a fuck about him.
It was kind of odd that he was in it and then he's just not. And then I did kind of like Ian as a young Obi-Wan Kenobi because of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like he kind of did a good impression of a younger version of Obi-Wan, but again, put in that storyline and everything, it didn't matter how well he did.
The language stunk, though, because they kept saying, my young apprentice. Yes, my apprentice.
Young Padawan.
No one, it's like they didn't talk like that in the first couple. That's why you liked them. That's why you liked fucking Harrison Ford and Mark Hamill, because they were just being themselves.
Mark Hamill whining his way through the beginning of that movie. Aunt Peru, Uncle Owen, you're fucking barbecued.
Do you know who I love was the guy that played Boba Fett's father? He's an actor named...
Jango Fett.
Jango Fett. Temuera Morrison, his name is, if I'm saying it right.
Big Samoan motherfucker.
No, he's from New Zealand. He was a soap actor, and he was starring in a movie called Once Were Warriors.
Oh.
He was fucking great. So I was happy to see him.
And they never really got that dynamic thing going, or I don't know.
It stunk. The first two were terrible.
Little fight out in the rain was kind of cool.
Yeah, there was a couple of good scenes. That was a good scene. There's when they're going through the production thing and he's getting, he's trying to save Natalie Portman. But then you're just watching robots fight. And I hated the big Jedi scene. It was like all Samuel Jackson and stupid Yoda spinning in the air like a toy. Fuck George Lucas. He's a dick.
How old is this movie now?
Exactly.
2002, I think.
I'm confused. Are we back at NEW?
It really is. That's what made it so fun to watch. It was like
Jimmy saw this for the first time.
I've never seen. I'm going to watch
10 years later almost.
I'm going to watch that dumb Sith movie tomorrow, which I hear is better than the other two.
It is like watching. It was like reading the tweets of a retard because it was shit from so long ago. You're like,
most people have seen the movie multiple times.
Yeah, which made it better too because first of all you don't got to worry about spoilers, and secondly you're so detached by time from it that you almost forget about the things that you sat in the movie theater and went like, oh, God. Well, the Phantom Menace was 99, so we are talking the previous century.
Yeah.
Wow.
We're talking about another century.
So we're talking 12 years ago.
Yeah.